I'm Alex Nizick. We're at the Consumer Reports Test Center, and this is our brand new 2023 Subaru Solterra Limited. This is Subaru's first dedicated, fully electric vehicle, and it shares its platform and a lot of technology with the Toyota bZ4X. So this is a limited version with a couple options, and with the destination charge, we paid $50,432. So like almost every other Subaru model, the Solterra comes standard with all-wheel drive. That's a major difference compared to the bZ4X, which you can get as a front-wheel drive only version. So I drove this vehicle for maybe 3 nights, and really, no complaints. First impressions anyway, no complaints. It does well on back roads, twisty stuff, it drives well, like I said. But then also on the highway, it was comfortable, quiet, like most EVs are. You'll hear people talk about the instant torque of an EV, and it's near instant, but it's got that 200-ish horsepower, and you do feel it when you step on it from a stop. You'll get that initial kind of shove that you're expecting in an EV, but it doesn't just keep pulling and accelerating like some of the faster ones out there. But I do think it does give you that kind of seamless EV experience. It's a little less powerful. The range is about 222 miles for the version we have. It makes about 215 horsepower, which again, down compared to competitors, and also the charging. So it doesn't really charge as quickly as other EVs that are coming out. The 6.6 kilowatt onboard charger that it has is pretty modest, so that means it's going to take more hours to charge the battery at your house. But also its capability when you're charging in public venues is pretty modest as well, so it's going to take longer in those situations too. So a lot of EVs are starting to kind of like bridge the gap between these classic genres of vehicles. So a lot of them aren't really quite sedans, they're not really hatchbacks or SUVs, and the Subaru Solterra and the bZ4X for that matter kind of fall into that realm. So these dedicated EV platforms like this one is built on, they've got these really stretched wheelbases, so the space between the wheels, the axles, it's very long for the overall size of the vehicle. Low battery, motors are low and compact. It just opens up the interior space for not only seating but also storage. So you have a pretty usable space back here. Load floor is low, easy to get stuff in and out. Yeah, if you're looking for an EV that has an extra storage space in the front, this is not it. One of the first things you're going to notice when you get in this car is the orientation between the steering wheel and the gauge cluster is different than pretty much any other car. So they decided to do it a little bit differently. So the gauge cluster, the gauge screen, fully digital, is mounted way further away and kind of higher up on the dash, almost very close to the windshield. But we'll see about the driving position. People, it's definitely a very subjective thing. People adjust things totally differently. It works for me. It may not work for other testers, so we'll see. Otherwise, in here, you have kind of this strange gear selector. It's this push down kind of knob thing here on the center console, and you push it down and turn it to one direction to select either reverse drive, and then park is a button up here. So this is the 360 parking camera system that the Solterra comes with on the limited version that we bought. So this is kind of not an optional feature, but on the higher trim. So another oddity here in the Solterra is there's no glove box. I don't really have a great reason for you as to why they did that, but there's nothing here. This is just a blank panel, doesn't open up, no storage there. The Solterra and by extension the bZ4X, they definitely compete with the kind of modern crop of EVs. But I do think that it appeals to somebody who might be getting into an EV for the first time. It's simple in its operation. The controls are, yeah, there are some weird things going on in there, but generally it's easy to use, right? There's nothing that's going to be too outlandish and too weird to get used to. So I think that it drives well, it drives pretty normal. It's not going to be crazy fast or do anything that's really weird. This vehicle is about to go into our full testing, so check back with us soon on consumerreports.org for our full results.